You're all very welcome to our midweek exhale on what is Wednesday evening for me, but maybe a different time of the day or even a different day for you if you're watching this on recording. My name's Marie and I'm one half of the Exhale Awakening, and Sharyn, who's there for me, you know where she is for you, is the other half of the Exhale Awakening. And this is our midweek exhale. This is our place for, I suppose, to take a pause in the week. Our weeks are very busy. We all have lots to do. And this is our pause in the middle of the week. And our main aim with this, although it is to give you experience of many different breathwork styles, I think our main aim is to give you a rest, to give you a place to come where you can just rest and allow your body maybe to begin to restore for the rest of the week. Because life says you should keep going and keep going and keep going until you can keep going no more. And we don't agree with that at all. So this is your pause in the middle of the week. And for anybody who hasn't been here before, you're very welcome, as is everybody else. But the structure of our sessions are always the same. So we're going to begin this evening. We'll do 4 different breath styles. I'm going to begin with breath awareness. And after every breath style, there's silence. And we put silence into all our sessions because silence is medicine. Silence, as well as bringing us into our parasympathetic nervous system and as well as lowering our stress hormones, silence actually gives our brain a chance to grow new brain cells. So we feel silence is very important. After the silence, you'll be brought back with birdsong, because birdsong does exactly the same thing. It lowers stress hormones, it brings us into our parasympathetic nervous system, and it improves our mood. And that improvement will last for 8 hours. And I know if it's the evening, the 8 hours is while you're asleep, but that's okay. So we'll have the breath awareness, we'll have silence, then we'll have birdsong, and then Sharyn is going to do snow angel breathing. And I'm not going to say anything else about that until we get there. And after that, there'll be more silence and more birdsong. And then I'm going to do rectangular breathing. More silence, more birdsong, and we finish with coherence breathing. Our invitation to you is to be comfortable. We will guide you through the breath styles. If at any point we begin to do something that just doesn't sit right with you tonight, that's absolutely fine. Please, please, please feel free not to do it. I would suggest if we do come to a breath style and you're sort of going, give it a go. And if it doesn't maybe land right this evening, go back to breath awareness or another breathing style that you like. But maybe stay connected to your breath. Stay connected to your breath for our whole session. But please feel free to do as much of what we offer you as feels right for you this evening. Okay, I think that's all the talking I have to do. So with all that being said, please get yourself comfortable. You can sit or you can lie down. If you're sitting, please make sure you're supported and you're safe. If you're lying down, make sure your pillow's not too high so that your airways are clear and you can breathe freely. And please, please make sure you're comfortable, because as I said, that's our main aim. And as you get settled, I'm going to begin recording or the music. Okay. So just become aware of your body on the chair, on the bed, on the surface that you're on. And bring your mind into your body and notice what's there this evening. Maybe there's areas of pain, maybe there's tingling or heaviness, whatever's there, just notice it, but try to notice without judgment and try to notice without analyzing or questioning. Just notice it as it is. And maybe bring your attention to how you feel. Are there emotions there? And maybe the emotions are difficult to find, but sit with it a wee minute. And again, without judgment or analysis. All emotions are welcome here. There's none better or worse than another. And bring your attention to your thoughts. Maybe your mind's very busy. Maybe you've been very busy. Maybe your mind has begun to quieten. But again, just notice. Try not to engage with the thoughts. Try not to get carried away on them. And maybe just before we bring our awareness to our breath, maybe begin to let all that soften. Let it begin to fade slightly just for the next hour. We'll still be there if you need to pick it up when we're finished. And bring your attention to your breath. And again, without analysing or judging or feeling the need to change it, although bringing your attention there might change it, and that's okay. Notice your inhale and your exhale. And if your breath's hard to find or hard to stay with right now, maybe just find a point of focus. That might be where your breath's entering and leaving your body. Or it might be whatever part of your body you feel moving with your breath. Leave your attention there for now. And if you're finding it difficult to stay with your breath because maybe your mind's taking you other places, so that's okay. But when you notice that that's happening, just gently bring your attention back to your breath. It doesn't matter how many times you have to bring your attention back. Just noticing the inhale and the exhale. knowing for the next 45 minutes or so that all you've got to do is breathe. And you can't do it wrong. You don't need to figure anything out. Just noticing your breath. And we're in the last minute, so maybe seeing, can you bring just a little bit more of your focus to your breath now? And as the bird song fades, just gently entering the first time of silence this evening.
And as the birdsong begins again and gently brings the silence to a close, just spend a moment just reflecting on that silence. Perhaps that's the first time today that you've experienced 2 minutes of silence. How did that feel? Perhaps, of course, it's not, and you've experienced silence already today, but still reflect. So in this next section, we're going to bring in a little movement, only gentle movement though, and we're going to also bring in our imagination. Now, don't worry if you think you don't have an imagination. All I want you to imagine is perhaps lying in a meadow, or maybe lying in your back garden on the grass, and just feeling the earth against your back. And think of a place where you would enjoy being in connection with the earth. So it could even be a beach, or any place where you could just be. Someone did this in a breathwork with me, a student, last week, and it felt so good to feel the full connection of the earth on the back of my body, the back of my legs and my feet, and to really sink into the earth. Maybe you can feel the energy exchange between your energy and the earth's energy, and vice versa. And in that place that for me feels quintessentially summer-like, laying on the lawn or laying on the grass or the beach, begin to move your arms from the side of your body to the top and up and over your head, as if you were making a snow angel. As you raise your arms, inhale, and as you lower your arms, exhale. Inhaling as you raise your arms, exhaling as you lower your arms. And feel your hands, maybe the backs of your hands or the palms of your hands, just running along this imaginary earth that you're laid upon. And if, because of how you're laying, you can't raise your hands above your head, raise them out in front of you. Out and over on the inhale, and together again in front of you at the exhale. We're opening our chest whilst we do this. And we're engaging our senses. Maybe it's making you smile, even a little giggle, to think about making snow angels in a breathwork. We have 2 more minutes left before we move into silence once again. And if you are laid down and it's possible, perhaps you might want to bring your legs into the equation too, like a true snow angel. opening and closing your legs in time with your arm movements. But if you're seated, don't worry, just stay with your arm movements. Remember, you can stop at any time if it's not comfortable for you. This is not a place of endurance. This is a place of comfort. In the last 30 seconds, perhaps just shrugging your shoulders a little bit, shaking out your arms, just getting ready to settle into a space of silent rest. And as the bird song once again brings the silence to an end, be just reflecting on that silence. And how it felt compared to the first silence. Maybe the same, maybe different, maybe both. And the next breath style I'm going to invite you to is rectangular breathing. And I suppose box breathing is the better known relation of rectangular breathing, but it's the same principle. I'm going to invite you to breathe in, to hold your breath, to breathe out, and to hold your breath. But instead of the holds being the same length as the inhale and exhale, the holds can be slightly shorter. And find your own
count or your own structure for this rectangle. And don't worry if it's not a real rectangle. Don't worry if some of the sides are longer than they should be. That's absolutely fine. But if you do want to begin with a count, maybe begin with inhaling for 4, holding for 2, exhaling for 4, and holding for 2. And do that a couple of times, and then feel, is that right for you today? And this isn't a place to force. It isn't a place to hold your breath for a certain length because that's what you started. It's not that. If you start with 4-2 and you find that that's too much, then do 3-1. But inhaling gently and holding softly at the top, and exhaling slowly and holding softly at the bottom. And really feeling what's comfortable for your body here. There's no prizes for the biggest rectangles. Just introducing that short pause at the top and that short pause at the bottom. Just allowing yourself that little bit of space at the top of the inhale and that little bit of space at the bottom of the exhale. Resting there for a second or two. And just checking in with your body that you're not forcing. That you're not forcing a hold or the length of the inhale or the exhale. Breathing softly. Maybe you want to lengthen your hold, or maybe you want to shorten it. Maybe you want to lengthen your inhale and exhale, or maybe you want to shorten them. Just resting for a second or two at the top and for a second or two at the bottom, taking a pause. We have less than a minute left, so really focusing on that breath and on that pause. And as the music fades, letting go of any count that you have and gently entering the silence.
And enjoying the birdsong again as it breaks the silence. And just reflecting on how the different silences have felt so far. Maybe it feels like they're going quicker, or maybe it feels like they're expanding and slowing down, or maybe they're just the same. And for our last breath of tonight's sequence, we're going to breathe coherence breathing or harmony balanced breathing, where the inhale and the exhale are the same length, and you can choose that length, and you can count if you wish in your in your head. You can touch your fingers to your thumb and use your fingers to count. Or you can just listen to your body and trust that your body will move you from the inhale to the exhale, and from the exhale to the inhale at the time that will bring balance to your body and to your breath. We're going to breathe this for 6 minutes, and it's said that just 1 minute of this breath will impact the health of your heart. So finding your rhythm, using the music if that will help you. And letting your focus be harmony. Balance. Coherence. Noticing whether you're holding a pause at the top of the breath on your inhale or at the bottom of the breath on your exhale, maybe both. And how does that feel? Does that feel good? Or do you want to maybe eliminate that and let your exhale become your inhale, and your inhale become your exhale? We have 2 more minutes left. Maybe you want to change the rhythm a little, lengthen your breaths. Or maybe even shorten them. Keep checking in. Keep responding to the invitation of the breath. One more minute before we move into the last silence of this sequence. On your next exhale, let your breath return to its natural rhythm. And rest in the silence for a while. And as the birdsong begins again, it's our cue to start our return back into the room. And you might do that perhaps by starting to bring some gentle movement into your body. Maybe some stretches, maybe just adjusting how you're sitting or lying down as you become more aware of your body. You might do little circles with your wrists and with your feet and ankles. Maybe some flexes, contraction. And in your mind's eye, becoming aware of the room that you're in. Imagining the colors and the textures Then gently and softly opening your eyes and noticing that exactly what you imagined in your mind's eye is there on the outside, and taking a look around. Noticing that maybe the light has changed. Maybe giving yourself some gentle touch, a hug, just a gentle feel of the arms or the legs. And then finally turning your attention to the Zoom room where you're sharing the space with the rest of us, the beautiful exhalers. And whilst you're coming back into the Zoom room, I'll just make you aware of quite a few messages in the chat box, just about the various things that we do here at the Exhale Awakening. So as well as this midweek exhale, we'd love you to join us on one of our deeper exhales. The next one is a week on Saturday, so 10 days from now, where we are breathing and exploring the energy of the apple, natural abundance, nature's abundance. And we'd love it if you wanted to come along and join us there. The link for the tickets is in the chat. And we would love you to join us. How we would love you to join us in Malin Head in Donegal in October, the end of October, beginning of November, when we're holding a 3-day retreat, 3 days of this. Can you imagine? We're really looking forward to exploring the change in light and our breath in that retreat. Thinking of everything else we have. Lots and lots of stuff. Read the notes. And finally, if you would like to leave us a review, we really love reading your experiences online, and it also really helps us. And we have popped the link for our review in there. And I think I'm seeing most people are coming back into the room now. So I'm going to pause the recording and open up the space for you to share your experiences if you like. There's no obligation to share. And if you are watching this on the recording, this is your invitation perhaps to journal, or to just spend some time reflecting yourself on how the journey was for you. So without further ado, I'm going to stop the recording.